One of the biggest gaps between you and the results that you want, especially when it comes to consistency. This is one I see, very, very frequently. And it's the one that lots of people struggle with. And as you know, I've been doing a series on consistency here because it is, to be honest, the biggest gap between those who achieve the results they want long term and those who don't. It just comes down to how long can you keep showing up? How long can you actually do this to win the game? Because the man who shows up long enough with enough intensity and enough effort will see the results. Not only will he see the results, he'll see results beyond, what most people can even fathom. But it takes showing up for a long, long period of time. So consistency wins. Consistency is always going to win. But I got the question on, how do I do that? That initial change is easy, relatively speaking, but doing it long term is difficult. It's why we fall back into these old habits. It's why yo-yoing is such a massive thing and such a massive problem. Because, when motivation is initially high, when you initially show up, you're like, oh my God, I can do this. Woo! I hate where I'm at. I'm going to change. Let's go. And then lo and behold, you start and things work. Things change. And then life happens and things get difficult. And you start to question the effort and time that you're putting into this change. And you start to go, is it worth it? Preface, the answer is always fucking yes. If it was worthwhile enough to change in the beginning, the answer is it's fucking worth doing. That's just the obvious answer on that. So yes, it is worth continuing. But there's two parts on this. One, we have a thermostat point where we reset. And when we make a change, let's say your thermostat is set at, 20 degrees. And you're like, I want to make it hotter in here. And you crank it up to 25 and you're cruising now. It's nice and warm. And you're like, let's push it a little bit further and let's go to 30. Things are really getting hot in here now. And over time, you go, I don't need to keep cranking it. I don't need to keep pushing it. And bit by bit, you creep back down until suddenly you're back at 20 degrees. And that's the reality of your life. You have this set point of your life and you have to push to a change, to a serious level of change. And then you have to maintain that for a long, long period of time to reset your thermostat to that level. And it's why most people will never actually reach and maintain their goals, because they never fully reset their thermostat. They never actually get to the point where they're like, I'm going to get to this and I'm going to maintain it, I'm going to maintain it, I'm going to maintain it. So what is the answer on this? And it's the one that people don't want to admit. The answer is you need accountability. You need someone in your corner. Preferably, and I will put this out there, preferably not a family member, not a loved one, not a friend, not someone you care about, to hold you accountable, to hold you to the standard, to put, their foot on your throat to make sure you do this. Because, to be honest, most people don't actually have what it takes. And that's not a dig, that's not a, knock on you. It's just the reality of the situation that most people don't have what it takes to truly change their lives. I have been doing this a really, really long time. I have owned my gym for 13 years. I am coming up on 18 years of training people. Most people don't have what it takes. Most people, pay me to make them show up, to hold them accountable. If you come to my gym, my minimum contract is a year. Most people opt in for 3 years. Think about that. How many times in your life have you committed to 3 years of change? Have you ever? Have you ever committed to something outside of maybe a uni degree, and even then you can opt out of that, going, I'm going to commit to this and follow through for the next 3 years of my life? For most people, the answer is a resounding fuck no. Most people can't even comprehend more than 90 days. Like, I tell people that they need to do a minimum of 126 days. And people are like, what the fuck? No, that's too long. And this is why you need accountability. Because you, as I said, it's not a knock on you. It's just a reality. You don't have what it takes to make the true change. I've got a friend and he talks about this all the time, and he's like, he uses the term God tier willpower. Most people don't. It's just not built into our society. Fuck, I'm not even sure I do half the time. I've just backed myself into a corner to make sure that I do the work, to make sure I keep showing up. It's part of why I do this. I got to show the fuck up every single day. I've got to do the work. I've got to walk the walk because I'm out here talking the talk. So I've backed myself into the corner that there is zero option but for me to actually follow through on what I said. It's why you need accountability. And you need skin in the game. As I said, most people don't want to think about this. Most people don't want to look at this. Most people think that they can do it without. But it's why there is 1,000,001 apps out there and free YouTube videos and all this kind of bullshit, or, $99 programs or whatever it might be on how to get into great shape. Because nobody ever fucking follows through. They're so cheap that they're throwaways, that people will buy them and won't bother doing them. That's why they're there. That's why they're priced that way. No. You need, and I know this sounds counterintuitive, but you need an expensive option. Usually it also indicates that the person is worth it, and I know I am worth every cent I am. And I'm expensive. I've also been doing this for my entire adult life. As I said, I own my gym for 13 years. I've been training people for nearly 18 years. From the day, well, actually, illegally before I graduated high school, but from the day I graduated high school, I went and got qualified, and I have been training people ever since. That is all I've ever done with my life, and I fucking love it. And I keep doubling down, and I keep learning more, and I keep finding more ways to figure this out. And that's what I do with my life. And it's why I'm out here to help change your life. Because I know the power of it. But I ain't cheap. This isn't a $99 program. This isn't, a quick 6-week fix it. No, this is investing into you. This is putting fucking skin in the game to make sure that you get the results that you need. That's what this is about. You need to be invested into it. It needs to hurt. This is the actual honesty, and I always get people who get upset with this, but it needs to hurt because, one, I am going to hold you to the fucking standard. There are going to be times where we aren't going to be friends because I'm going to call you on your bullshit. I firmly believe that it is the highest form of love, is calling people out, is telling them the truth when it is uncomfortable, to withstand the fire that will come with it and be like, no, this is what you need. This is the truth that you need to hear. This is the reality of the situation, that you have to do what is required. And I am not gonna sugarcoat it. You have to do what is necessary, and I will hold you to that standard. It's part of why you will get the results. But you need to be A, invested, and B, have so much on the line that you cannot afford to not do the work. Because I'll hold you accountable. I'll hold your feet to the fire. I will call you out when you are not doing what you said you would. But if you don't have skin in the game, if you don't have something on the line that matters to you to actually do it, it doesn't matter what I say to you. It doesn't matter how much I call you out on your bullshit. If you're not invested, it doesn't fucking mean anything. And I've been there as well. I've done things where I have not invested enough money. I'm like, I don't care. It's not worth it enough to me to actually do the work. So you have to be all in. And I can guarantee you, as I've done this for a long time, the people who are truly fucking invested, the people who truly have skin in the game, they get way better results. And even if you are very well motivated, even if you are, have God tier willpower, I can promise you, you have someone who's going to push you, who's going to, make you do the shit that makes you uncomfortable, you will get better results. Guaranteed. I have someone who writes my training programs for me. Why? It's not that I don't know. As I said, 18 years been doing this shit. I fucking know. But because I know what I like, and I program towards what I like, not what I need. And I am well aware of my biases. So I pay someone else, A, because I'm then further invested, and B, because they're going to make me do shit that I don't want to do, but need to do. Invest in yourself and frame it that way. It doesn't cost, it isn't expensive, it's an investment. And the only way you don't get an ROI, a return on your investment, is if you don't do the work. You are the guarantee for results. You are the one who needs to guarantee that you show the fuck up. I promise you, if you do what I say, you follow through, you listen to my advice, you'll be a different human being. So fast. You won't believe how fast. But you have to show up. You have to follow through. You have to be invested and go, I will do the work. And then I will hold your feet to the fire. I will hold you to the standard. And we will make sure you get it done. Get held accountable. Receive the highest form of love. Get called out on your bullshit. And start demanding greatness of yourself. If you are ready for that, comment demanding greatness, click the link in my bio, or shoot me a message. Let's transform your life. Let's actually give you the consistency you need to see the results that you deserve. I look forward to seeing you then.